I'd like to call this regular meeting of the Coralville City Council to order on December 8th, 2020 via Zoom. Roll call, please.
Councilmember Foster.
Present.
Gross.
Here.
Wynn.
Here.
Dodds.
Present.
Goodrich.
Here.
Okay, all members of the council, as are the mayor, the city administrator, city clerk, and several other staff members are in attendance tonight. I would entertain a motion to approve the agenda.
I make a motion to approve the agenda.
Okay, moved by Goodrich, seconded by
Second.
High. Howen, I should be consistent with how we first name, last name. All in favor say aye.
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 Okay, opposed? The agenda is approved. Thank you very much. I was just told by the city administrator there's no city citizens in person. Are there any, Mr. Clerk, do you know of any other coming over the Zoom?
No one over Zoom that I know of.
Okay. Apparently not then tonight. We'll move on to item 5, and that's the Community Development Block Grant Program public hearing. This is a public hearing for the discussion of the CDBG, or Community Development Block Grant funding for student support and the NEST programs during this hybrid learning period in the Iowa City Community School District. I will now open the public hearing. Are there any comments?
Mr. Mayor, I have comments that I need to read for the record for the CDBG grant for the nests.
Sure, please introduce yourself for the public.
Hi, I'm Sherry Proud, Director of Parks and Recreation for the City of Coralville. And this was awarded, we applied for this in the fall, and this is part of the contract that we do a public hearing, and I will read the following. The need for the CDBG project. Several schools in Coralville have a free and reduced school lunch rate as high as 80%. This grant funding provides scholarships for eligible students to attend an all-day school-age care program that guides participants with their schoolwork during hybrid or 100% online learning, along with enrichment activities. The grant also covers expenses for small neighborhood programs for social, emotional, and recreational focused after-school activities. Description of the CDBG funded project and activities. To provide scholarships for up to 25 children in K through 6th grade for participation in an all-day program through Coralville Parks and Recreation during the COVID pandemic. The program provides online school support and enrichment activities and takes place from 7:30 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. The project also provides after-school programs to support social, emotional, and recreational well-being during the pandemic. The amount of the CDBG funds for the project, $38,736. The estimated amount of CDBG assistance that will benefit low and moderate income persons is the entire $38,736. The location of the project activities, the full-day programs are held at the Coralville Rec Center and Community of Christ, and the after-school programs may be held at the Coralville Public Library or at Coralville churches located in neighborhoods where desired enrollment population lives. Any relocation that will have to take place as a result of the CDBG project, this is not applicable. City and county contact information for residents to contact with concerns or complaints regarding the project. Residents may contact myself, Sherry Proud, Director of Parks and Recreation, for further information about the programs. My phone number is 319-248-1750, or I can be reached by email at SP as in Paul, ROUD as in David, at coralville.org. Community development and housing needs of low to moderate persons in the city and county, and any planned or potential activities to address these needs. If members of the public have input on this item, please share those during the public hearing or contact City Clerk Thor Johnson at 248-1700 or tjohnson@coralville.org, and the comments will be included in the minutes. Finally, other community development and housing needs and any planned or potential activities to address these needs. Again, if members of the public have input on this item, please share those during the public hearing or contact City Clerk Thor Johnson at 319-248-1700 or tjohnson@coralville.org, and the comments will be included in the minutes. Thank you.
Thank you, Sherry. That was very, very informative. Any other comments from anyone during the public hearing? Any written comments?
No written.
Okay. I'll close the public hearing then. And I guess there's no resolution tonight, just a public hearing. So council, did anyone want to make any comments now or move on?
Thank you, Sherry, for managing all of that.
Yeah, good job taking advantage of available funding.
Yes, and allocate it where it needs instead of just stick to the original plan where it might not need work. So
Yep. Good
kudos.
to be flexible. Yep. Mhm.
I did have
Okay.
sorry, I had a quick question. So when we were having this conversation last month, did there was a question about how long the funding would last? Do we have an estimation on how long or, the duration of this funding, how long it'll stretch?
If the Iowa City Community School District stays in all online, we'll be out of funding somewhere 2.5 weeks into January. If they go back to hybrid, we think we can stretch the money through the end of January into February. And Kelly and I are working on but trying to secure more funding to get us up to spring break. So small steps in trying to get us to spring break, and then looking at the end of the school year there in probably late February, how we get to the end of that. So that's where we're at.
Awesome, thank you.
One quick question, Sherry. So if we were able to secure more funding, will you prioritize then still funding for the family that already participated, or how if there's not enough to keep all 25 scholarship, how would that look?
Sure. I think we would keep the kids in the program that are in the program now and continue to fund those kiddos. Keep consistency, and we're making great strides with them in their schoolwork.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. We'll move on to item 6, disposal of excess property and right-of-way. This 3 items under this, it's for the Club Car Wash is looking to redevelop the currently called Westport Touchless Car Wash, and would like to purchase from the city 2 parcels of land that was left over when we realigned and relocated that intersection of 20th Avenue and South 5th Street. So item 6A is, did we receive any alternate proposals?
No.
Okay, no alternate proposals received. Item B, I'll open a public hearing on disposal of the interest in this real property and soliciting the alternative proposals for the sale of this approximately 0.26 acre parcel and excess right-of-way near the intersection of 5th Street and 20th Avenue. So the public hearing is open. Are there any comments? Any written?
No written.
Okay, thank you. I'll close the public hearing then and consider the resolution.
Resolution approving the disposal of certain property, that property being auditors parcels numbers 2006-2006155 and 2020086, introduced for adoption by Councilmember Foster, seconded by.
Second.
Seconded by Gross. Any discussion? Roll call.
Gross.
Aye.
Quinn.
Aye.
Dodds.
Aye.
Goodrich.
Aye.
Foster.
Aye.
Resolutions approved, all ayes. Moving on to number 7, unbiased policing ordinance. This is the 3rd and final consideration of an ordinance that prohibits certain conduct from law enforcement, creates a citizens community policing board, requires the police department to collect data on contacts and the general public, and outlines training requirements for the Coralville Police Department. Don?
Ordinance number 2020-1019, an ordinance amending the Code of Ordinances of the City of Coralville as previously amended incorporating a chapter regarding unbiased policing for third and final consideration, introduced by Councilmember Gross, seconded by.
Second.
I'd like to say everybody seconded that. The face that came up on my screen was Dodd, so seconded by Jill. So, discussion. This is we've talked a lot about it, but it's been very deserving, and we've refined it since its first reading, and I think we're all really proud of it and happy to have it operational and move forward with staffing that citizens committee and some of the other protocols that are called out in this ordinance. Well, you're a quiet group, so then I'll do roll call, please.
Quinn,
Aye.
Dodds,
Aye.
Goodrich,
Aye.
Foster,
Aye.
Gross.
Aye.
Okay, it is the third and final reading of the ordinance is approved, all ayes.
Hey, Mr. Mayor, I was trying to speak, but I don't think I got through.
Oh, okay, we didn't hear
No,
you.
I do just want to say, because I think this is kind of a monumental moment for our community that we've passed this. And, we think where we were 5 and 6 months ago as a community. And I want to just applaud everybody that's been involved from you on the screen, my colleagues and the Coralville Police Department and Chief Crone, our partnership with the NAACP. We really admitted and said something has to be done based on the murder of George Floyd. And I'm really proud of this piece of legislation that we put forth. But I think it's also remembered to say that, and I feel I speak from all my colleagues, that this is the first of many things in this long battle of racial justice, and that this fight has to be ongoing and enduring, and it's not something we just fix with the passage of a single ordinance. So I believe we're committed to do that, but I just felt it was a really good example of people coming together and working together, and I think this ordinance is going to really make a lot of difference. So I appreciate everyone's support in this.
Thank you, Mitch. Well put.
Yes, and just for public, public hearing's sake, can we please let the public know when they can apply to be a part of the review board? When would that process take place, and how long do they have to submit an application?
Yeah, good question, Hi. I will talk with the clerk and the city attorney and let you all know what that process is, but we'll, excuse me, choking all of a sudden. We'll move on that as quick as we can. So
I think we talked a little bit about that at the last meeting, and I think we can start publicizing it as soon as January, if I'm remembering correctly from our conversation. So we should be able to get moving on that fairly quickly.
Yep, I think it needs to be published and things like that. And then, yep.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Okay, moving on then. Item number 8, the First Avenue improvements, 6th Street to 9th Street. This is a resolution approving a supplemental agreement for the project management and construction observation to complete the punch list of items on the First Avenue improvements from 6th Street to 9th Street. And it's not to exceed $20,500. Don?
Resolution approving supplemental agreement number 2 with HR Green Inc. for First Avenue improvements, 6th Street to 9th Street. Introduced or adopted by Councilmember Nguyen, seconded by.
Second.
Seconded by Foster. Any discussion?
Actually, I received an email right before tonight's meeting from a resident that just had questions about when some of these smaller projects kind of tying up First Avenue would be completed. What is the timeline?
I can address that. We've been trying long and hard to get the contractor back to finish the things on First Avenue, and they are back in this week, and we hope to have them completed and out of the way within the next 2 weeks on First Avenue. We also have a little bit of work to do on the East 9th Street project. We're hoping to have that completed this week as well. And one other thing I could report is on the East 2nd Avenue project adjacent to the hotel, that our contractor, Portson, will be done with the majority of their work by the end of this week as well. So We're getting a lot of things wrapped up here towards the end of the year. And I would make one comment on this resolution as well as the next one on the agenda as well, is that because the contractor has taken extra time to complete the punch list beyond what their normal original schedule was, we will be going after the contractor to pay for these additional costs for our consultants to monitor and make sure that those things are done correctly. So we will be recouping those costs from the contractors.
Thank you.
Thank you. That was Dan Holderness, the city engineer. Any other questions on that? Roll call.
Dodds,
Aye.
Goodrich,
Aye.
Foster,
Aye.
Gross,
Aye.
Quinn,
Aye.
Resolution is approved, all ayes. Item 9, similar project or action, Coral Ridge Avenue Improvements Phase 2. This is a supplemental agreement for the project management and construction observation to complete the punch list on Coral Ridge Avenue Improvements Phase 2. And this is not to exceed $29,600. Don?
Resolution approving supplemental agreement number 4 with HR Green Inc. for the Coral Ridge Avenue Improvements Phase 2. Introduced for adoption by Councilmember Dodds, seconded by.
Second.
Second.
Seconded by Goodrich. Any discussion? Roll call.
Goodrich,
Aye.
Foster,
Aye.
Gross,
Aye.
Quinn,
Aye.
Dodds,
Aye.
Resolutions approved, all ayes. Item 10 is a 28E boundary line adjustments with North Liberty. This is a 28E agreement that adjusts the boundaries for the roads straddling the Coralville and North Liberty corporate boundaries. So the entire right-of-way for these roads are in one of the cities in order to provide more efficient roadway maintenance. The roads affected are Forever Green Road, Coral Ridge Avenue, and Wheaton Road. Don?
Resolution approving a 28E agreement with the city of North Liberty to provide boundary line adjustments. Introduced for adoption by Councilmember Goodrich, seconded by.
Second.
Again, several of you did it at the same time, but Megan's face came up on the screen, so seconded by Foster. Any discussion? Seems to make sense. Good practice.
Yeah, we've worked this out with the City of North Liberty, obviously, and it's also on their council meeting for approval tonight as well. So,
okay, thanks for working on that. Roll call.
Foster,
Aye.
Gross,
Aye.
Quinn,
Aye.
Dodds,
Aye.
Goodrich,
Aye.
Resolutions approved, all ayes. Item 11 is city administrator compensation package. This increases the city administrator compensation package by 3% starting July 1st, 2020, and is equivalent to the increases previously approved for the union and non-union employees in the city. Don?
Resolution approving a compensation package for the city administrator. Introduced for adoption by Councilmember Foster, seconded by.
Second.
Seconded by Goodrich. Discussion?
Yeah, I had a couple of thoughts, Mayor. I made a couple of notes so that I wouldn't fumble on it. This particular item led to some logistical questions for me. That has been kind of a frustration through the week. But with that said, I want to say that regardless, Mr. Hayworth deserves an increase for his leadership and guidance through one of the toughest years that I believe Coralville has ever had. We have a global pandemic. We've had protests.
No, I think it's okay.
He
Thank you.
opened the arena, and we even topped it off with a special election. Kelly Hayworth did an outstanding job navigating through all of these things, and I did expect this exemplary performance from him, and he did not disappoint. My issue about this item is that I had questions about salaries and compensations and how they are determined at the city level. This required me to ask more questions than I thought I should have had to, going around in circles. And my questions actually should have been discussed as a group with my fellow counselors.
There's an increase
Excuse me, Jill. Zach, can you please mute your microphone?
To be clear, these questions had nothing to do whatsoever with Mr. Hayworth's outstanding performance, but with changes that I feel need to be made to the city's financial structure. So of course I will be voting yes for the compensation for Mr. Hayworth, as he certainly deserves this increase. But moving forward, I will be demanding in-depth discussion about the status quo as we enter our budget planning for fiscal year 2022. Thank you.
Thank you, Jill. Yeah, this was definitely not a normal year for this process, for timing wise, and just the way the performance evaluation was done by email, and I take some blame. I should have stayed on top of this and gotten this through much sooner than now. And let's just say lesson learned, certainly by me as mayor, of how to do things better next time. And I apologize for the frustration and angst that you experienced. So, but I'm glad we're doing the right thing. Anything else? Roll call.
Gross.
Aye.
Quinn.
Aye.
Dodds.
Aye.
Goodrich.
Aye.
Foster.
Aye.
Resolution is approved, all ayes. Thank you. I would consider a motion to approve the consent calendar as presented or amended.
I would ask the council to consider a motion to approve the consent calendar A through N inclusive.
Moved by Dodge, seconded by,
Second.
again, Huyen's photo came up on, or screen came up, so seconded by Huyen. Any discussion? Roll call.
Quinn.
Aye.
Dodds.
Aye.
Goodrich.
Aye.
Foster.
Aye.
Gross.
Aye.
The consent calendar is approved, all ayes. Item 13 is city administrator report. Unmute, Kelly.
Sorry about that. Thank you, Mayor. Just one item, just to remind folks that this Sunday is the Isle of Light ceremony or festival, and we have lots of socially distanced ways to enjoy the holidays. And so just encourage people to come out and spend time with your family. We've got some outdoor activities at SD Morrison Park, and we also have Bebop's Train here, and we'll have a reduced number of people that can come in at one time. But this is a good time just to go around Coralville and enjoy the time and do it safely during these crazy times. And that's all I have, Mayor.
Okay. Thank you, Kelly. Item 14 is mayor's report. I knew he was going to present information on the Isle of Lights, and again, I would go to the website. There's a lot of different activities that people can take in that day, starting as early as 2 o'clock in the afternoon on Sunday, this Sunday. Really, the only other item I have is a sad note, and that's a passing of a gentleman from Coralville that has been so involved over the years on planning and zoning, on the Center for Performing Arts. He and his wife Eve have volunteered countless hours on the police department, and that's Bill Lubengeier. Bill and his wife Eve, like I just said, have been great citizens of our city and have served it so well. And he passed away this past Sunday, surrounded by his family. They lived in Bridgewater. And I looked up, and he has a service, a funeral service that people can view online via Zoom on Friday the 18th, so a week from this Friday. So condolences go out to Bill's family and especially to his wife Eve. City Attorney's report.
I have nothing, Kevin.
Nothing.
Okay. Committee and council members report. Going left to right, Laura, you're the first one on my screen.
Thank you. I noticed that we received word that the census has been completed, and I just want to thank Ellen and Thor and everyone else who is so involved in that, and look forward to hearing the count in Coralville. Thanks for everybody who is involved.
Thank you. I think we're all really anxious to hear that count. So, Megan, you're next up.
Well, thank you so much, Mr. Mayor. I just was going to mention the Isle of Lights activities as well. I think that, we really need that activity this year, I would almost say more than we have in previous years. And it's just a great way to get into the holiday spirit, and it's also a pretty safe activity. I did want to mention, kind of in conjunction with the Isle of Lights, that the city has a map of holiday displays. So be sure to go to the city's website and you can check on the interactive map for all of those houses that have bright and fun holiday displays. And if you have a suggestion for a house to include on the map, you can send a direct message to the city's Facebook page or to their Twitter account as well. And then I just wanted to piggyback off of what Mitch said after we passed the third reading of that unbiased police ordinance. I'm incredibly proud of our council, our city staff, the police department for their work on this ordinance. This is very much the first step in this process. And I am grateful that I have been a part of it and that I've been surrounded by colleagues that are so supportive of making sure that Coralville is an inclusive place for everyone that lives here. So I'm proud, I'm grateful. I thank you all for your work. And I want to also thank the folks at the NAACP who helped us get this off the ground. And that is all I have. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Megan. Mitch.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. And I guess I'll start off, I didn't realize that Bill had passed away, but I guess I'll tie his passing away into my comments because one of the things that always struck me about Bill was his participation in city government. And he was one of the few guys that would come to our retreats or our goal setting sessions, sometimes being the only one there. And I think it's just really telling that kind of participatory citizenry that we'd like to have. And having said that, I think it'd be good. I know we've talked a lot, and I think we're trying to get dates for that next work session plan. But I think it's important that we do so, and especially when we are meeting virtually, because I think, to use Megan's term of piggyback, and I guess I want to piggyback on Jill a little bit, that just, and I feel that it's funny for me to say that I'm the old guard on the council now, because I remember when I ran, that definitely wasn't the case. And then when I look around at my colleagues, it's, I've got the longest tenure, but I think it's really important for at least this council for sure to have good discussions and deep discussions. And, not every governmental body is like that. I think each governmental council or school board or legislature takes on its own persona and personality. But I think this is one that just likes to have, likes to chew on the bone a little bit when it comes to decisions and policies and this or that. So I think we got to really find meaningful ways to do that, especially when we're meeting in this virtual landscape that we are. And my last thing, just regarding as a library representative, our meeting is tomorrow. But I do want to remind patrons that Wi-Fi hotspot devices are available again in this virtual time. So please, for Coralville residents, so please reach out to our library if you need to be connected to the web. That's all I have, Mr. Mayor. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Mitch. Jill.
I don't think I have any further report. Just please mask up and stay safe, everyone.
Good advice. Thank you, Jill. And hi.
Thank you, Mayor. I have a few things. I would like to, so I went to my first meeting as a council for the Art Commission. It was very informative. So I have a few items to report on that. Because of the pandemic, things changed drastically, with our arts. scene here in Coralville, and they are struggle at the performance art center. They have to cancel a couple of the program because obviously people cannot get together to practice, and we can't have people coming inside to enjoy the show. They have to come up with really creative way to be able to still offer art to the community in a safe manner. And so I am happy to report that a Christmas cabaret will be, it's on. So that will be available December 18th to 20th, and you can view it in the safety of your own home. Having to adapt to the new normal here, we do what we can. And then also the virtual theater workshop is for youth is available. So check that out on the website. There should be all information of how to sign up and the time and everything. And with the holiday is here, I know that we can't get together to celebrate like years before. So I encourage everyone to stay home. Just celebrate with your loved one via Zoom or any other mean virtually, just so that we can all be safe. And if you decide to send a gift, please try to shop small and local, support all of the local shop around, and then ship there so that we can keep our local economy thriving. And one last note, which is very exciting, our community meal is back up and running. It is scheduled for this Friday, December 11, from 5:30 to 7 o'clock. And this is the beloved community meal that we have done for the past 5 years, and we have to put it on hold since the pandemic happened. But now we are getting back into offering it again, and we are going to tweak at it a little bit and offer it to-go style. So this Friday, 5:30, come to the Coralville United Methodist Church. Stay in your car. We will come out. We'll take your order. There is a vegan and a meat option. It's a Middle Eastern menu. It's very yummy. I have the privilege to try it. So, and it is open to everyone. Everyone is welcome. You don't have to live in Coralville, but all residents of Coralville, North Liberty, Iowa City, anywhere, are welcome to come and take a meal home and enjoy it with your loved one at home. So that is all I have, Mayor. Thank you.
Oh, thank you. Good stuff. Okay. Thank you for that information. I will now entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Moved by Gross, seconded by
Second.
Foster. All in favor, say aye.
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 Hi.
Okay.
Aye.
We are adjourned from the formal meeting.